Hi witches and warlocks, it's me Mikey and welcome back to my channel. Now as you can tell by the title of this video that it's my tutorial from my Book of Shadows Part 2. So this is where I'm going to start my book from the beginning, and you guys are going to come along with me, and hopefully bit by bit you can come and join me each week and put your book together too. So as I said, my last video was what you needed for your Book of Shadows, all the bits and pieces. So hopefully by now you have got most of it, or you have all of it, or you've got some on the way. However, these are the bits you're going to need for your first bit of your tutorial. So first of all, you need a ruler for this section. You need the tube that I said in my first video. Now this was the tube that was inside the greaseproof paper that I got from the pound shop, or you can, I guess, get it from any shop really, it's up to you. And I basically cut it in half. I haven't taken anything off this at all. It's actually just cut in half. It was quite a small tube. So I flattened it out just like this, and you've got your spine. I've then got a piece of paper, and I also have the boards from the back of the picture frames. It's quite hot today. I'm actually sweating. So these are the boards. So I've got two of those. And then of course you've got PVA glue. And to do what you need to do, you need scissors, which we'll go through in a second, and a pen. Any pen, doesn't matter what it is, as long as it shows up. Doesn't matter about this section because we are going to cover all this anyway, so you won't see any marks that we put on there. Okay, so I'm going to point you down to the book and show you what I'm doing, so you guys can see exactly what's going on. Now, this is a bit of a weird angle, I know. I'm going to spread this back just a little bit so you guys can see a little bit better. Right, there we go. That should be sort of okay, I guess. So this is what I've got set up. So this is my book, or at least what will be my book. So I've put this on some, I've actually recycled the bag that my binding screws came in today. It's an Amazon Prime, and it was Amazon I got them from. So I've used the packet today to do my gluing on, so it doesn't go on my table. So yeah, so what you need your piece of paper, two boards which you can put to one side for now. So we're going to put them to one side because we don't need them just yet. So what you should have is your little tube that you flatten down just like this. I'm going to flip that over because we need this side. So you take your PVA glue just like that, and I'm going to open that up. Oh, and also I didn't mention before, which I will mention now, is that you also need a little brush. I've just used one of the little painting brushes that I got in that pack that I was in my last video, and your masking tape as well, which is always handy. So what you need to do is the glue into, now don't be shy to use a bit because we need to really coat this. Should be about enough. And then we're going to brush this out, cover this completely. Okay, you want to cover it, make sure it's completely covered. I may put a little bit too much on this, but you can never have too much glue. Make sure you coat the whole thing. Don't want to leave any edges. Spread this out. There we go. My thing's got a bit of a rough edge because it was a bit of a hard tube to do, so that you might get some spillage. That's why it's always best to put something down. Don't ruin your mum's table or your own table, depending on where you live. Always ask permission as well if you don't own the table and stuff. So that's pretty much covered now. There's quite a lot on there. Right, so now when you've covered that, you want to take your piece of paper. Now, I tend to slightly fold it so it's equal, like that. So it's not completely folded in half, it's got a little bit of a curve, but you've got it totally equal, as if you're about to fold it in half. Then you're gonna put that, oh, I do apologise, that's not the way I want to do it. You want to do it long ways, like this, because obviously it's A4, so you want to put it on your A4 thing. So fold it in half long ways and then place it in the center. Again, you don't have to have this perfectly in line, because you are going to cover this. This is only to bind your book together for now. Sure you push it down nice and strong. I've got a bit of glue on my hands. Now some of the glue will come out, you just have to be careful not to put too much on. But I'd rather it be stuck than not stuck at all. So you should land up with something, you can move it around as well, something that looks like that. Okay, now it's still quite gluey, and this will take a little while to glue down. So you've got to leave that to dry, like so. And you should land up with something that looks similar to that. Okay, now again, it's a bit gluey, that's okay, because that's where we put the thing down. I'm on a glass table, so I'm getting covered in glue here. I'm on a glass table, so it's not too bad, because it wipes off. It's only PVA and it comes off really easily. Again, just make sure you go over every little section, because you want that tucked in and stuck to the sides really well. Okay, make sure you go along the edges, moving it as you go. You want it really tucked in there, because this is going to form your spine. Now, you can do this with any sort of glue really, it doesn't have to be PVA. I use PVA because it's easy to work with, and if you get any on you, it's going to come off straight away. It's not going to be too hard to stick. It just takes a little time to dry, like so. So that is your paper stuck on quite firmly. Still got some leakage going on. So as you can see, it's stuck down. Right, so that's the first bit of your book. So that's your spine. We've got that nicely tucked in there, and then like I said, that will eventually, when it does dry, it's going to go down onto your book. Like so, and that will stick. It will move, so don't, once you've got it in place, try not to fiddle with it like I'm doing, because you want it to stick as quickly as possible. Again, PVA takes a while to stick, so if you want to, you can use a hairdryer to speed up the process. I don't have a hairdryer, so I'm going to leave it to stick. So I'm going to leave that for now. That's going to dry overnight, and I'll come back to you once it has.